One of the consequences of the accident was to bring about the redesign of racing circuits the world over. Tamburello became a left-right chicane, forcing the drivers to slow down. But as of 2:17 on Sunday, May the 1st, 1994, it was still a severe and unforgiving test of the defining property of a Formula One car: the ability to corner at almost unbelievable speed. This staggering performance is quite literally conjured out of thin air, because a modern F1 car's design is dominated by aerodynamics. As strange as it may seem, a machine such as this is not so much a car, but an aeroplane flying upside down, very, very close to the ground.
The simplest aerodynamic device is a wing. On an aeroplane, the wing's mounted this way round, and the air has to go further around the top surface than the bottom surface, so the air going over the top has to go faster than the air going underneath. Faster air has a lower pressure, so it produces lift.
Daniel Bernoulli, a mathematician, established in the 18th century that the faster air travels, the lower its pressure. This is the fundamental principle behind both how aeroplanes fly and how Formula One cars stay on the track.
On a racing car, we take the wing and put it the other way up, so it produces a force in the downward direction, downforce.
Downforce is the holy grail for modern race car designers, because it pushes the car, and therefore the tyres, into the track, increasing their grip by as much as a factor of 4.
While a car's going around a corner, it tries to go straight on. This is a natural law of physics, and the only force you have to prevent the car flying off the road is the grip provided by the tyres.
All other things being equal, a car with 4 times its own weight in downforce will be able to corner 4 times faster than one with no downforce at all. It's this downforce-assisted grip that enables an F1 car to take a corner like Tamburello flat out, the engine turning at nearly 14,000 RPM. Travelling at almost 200 miles an hour, 11.2 seconds into lap 7, the car is crushed into the tarmac by nearly 4 times its own weight in downforce, generating huge grip. Just as a fighter pilot feels G-force during a turn, Senna felt this force pulling at him. Sensors on board indicated a reading of 3.62 G, or 3.62 times the force of gravity. If something went wrong now, the car would literally fly off the road. At this exact moment, 1.6 seconds before impact, something did go wrong. F1 star Michele Alboreto, who died in a crash after filming this interview, believed he knew what happened to Senna.
It's a dangerous corner because if you have a failure in the car, it was the wall very, very close in the high-speed part of the track. But I'm sure, because I know, because I had the same crash that Ayrton had in the same place, I know that you can go out in this corner only if you have a mechanical failure on the car.
If the car had broken, the responsibility for the death of the sport's greatest driver would rest with his team. The very idea sent a shockwave. When Ayrton Senna was killed in 1994 at the San Marino Grand Prix in northern Italy, the multi-million-pound sport would never be the same again.
This would be a defining moment in motorsport. A defining moment in terms of safety.
Before the crash, it had always been acknowledged that Formula One was a risky business. Danger was part of the sport's glamour. But the loss of its #1 superstar changed everything.
The impact sent a shockwave back. It sent a shockwave back to every single person within Formula One, but a shockwave back to the teams themselves, because if something could fail, on a car with those consequences, they all desperately wanted to know what it was so that they'd make sure it didn't happen to them. You just can't have people dying against walls.
What happened 1.6 seconds before impact? Why did the best driver in the world crash with such horrifying suddenness? Because the crash happened in Italy, where the law demands that any unnatural death be investigated, a trial was called.